Alrighty, there we are. Alright, I got everything set up. And I started everything. So, what's up, Joey? How you been?
Tired. I don't need a nap.
I hear that. Yeah, I've been working and got a new job, so I've been doing 5 days a week, 40 hours, 5 days a week. It was 9 to 5, so it's like 30 something hours. It's either online or going to the place that I need to go to. I don't want to give out too much information because you never know what happens. But you know what it is. But yeah, it's a lot of work, man, and it's just it's a lot of training, and you're learning so many things. And I'm doing this for like 7 weeks, and it's just like, okay, okay, it's a lot. It's a lot. But yeah, I've been tired too, man, and with the intense work of school, like I had to read 100 pages a week, and then this last one, it was the second to last week. I had to read 200 pages, and I was just like, I'm just over it, bro. It was the intense course major class that I needed for my major, so at least I got that out of the way. Now I just have to worry about electives.
That's what happens when you take classes during the winter. It's a short couple of weeks, and
Yeah.
they just throw everything in the kitchen sink at you. So it's like it starts to get really heavy, and especially when it's like close to the end. You gotta like send everything in, and it it's a pain. I never really liked taking the classes in the winter. I didn't mind taking them in the summer or it's like as if you're taking classes in the weekend because they're short.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's annoying. Um But anyways, we're here, and we this is our second episode of the year. Kind of missed the last one because, well, we were having technical issues on our part with the episodes that weren't being displayed, so I don't know what that was going on with. I don't know. I let the window be open for a while, and next thing you know, it just popped up on my Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So I don't know if it's on Stitcher. I haven't checked Stitcher. You could check that later on. Don't have to check it
Yeah.
now. But today's episode is WandaVision. And I've been reading a lot of I've been on TikTok, and I've been like on Twitter, and I've been reading like, the talk of WandaVision. And it on the first two episodes when it was released, there was a divide, just like everything else. There's always a divide, like just the thing, same thing with the Wonder Woman 84. But there was a
Yeah.
divide of like, where is this going? Why are we seeing in black and white? Why is there um what is it trying to build up? And it's just like, well, if you read the comics, then you know what kind of happens in behind the scenes, and what Scarlet Witch basically uh does with her powers after she loses her brother in the comics, right? And in this one, it's not just her brother, but also Vision, and what happens after Endgame, and so on and so forth. So we're seeing that build up. So in the first episode, everybody basically saw the Easter egg of Sword, and Sword is obviously an intergalactic kind of like shield, basically. And we know that Nick Fury is behind the scenes of Sword and has already been involved with them for quite a while. And he's been using the scroll that he met in Captain Marvel, I forget his name, to basically be Nick Fury in the MCU for some part time. I don't know the time that he basically has been doing Sword and this and that. Probably maybe after Winter Soldier, I want to say, is when he probably decided, hey, you know what, I'm gonna be in Sword, and this other guy could take it. I don't know, maybe that's just me. Um, but that's just my theory. Doesn't really matter because it's Nick Fury. And Was it the first episode or was it the second episode that we saw Kitty from that 70 show?
Which character?
She played Kitty. I don't know her name. She played Kitty in that 70 show.
Oh, it was the first episode.
First episode, right? And that first episode is just when they're in that dining room and they're having that talk with each other. And she's like, "Stop it, stop it, stop it." It's just like kind of intense. I don't know. What do you think about the one?
Yeah, it was. I actually enjoyed that. I don't know. It's like a nightmare as I looking at it, and then watching the end of the second episode when she rewinds time, and the third episode where she sends off Geraldine's character out her universe. It's scary how she's becoming. It's almost like she's, in a sense, she's becoming sort of unhinged a bit. With she doesn't want things to get messed up. Like doesn't want to affect. I guess she likes the world that she's living in, that she's created for herself in some way. But it's like it's too soon to tell if this world was made for her and she's able to manipulate it, or there's something at hand right now that's taking control of that world. Which is funny because in part in the episode 3 where it says West View, the sign says home is where you make it. So it's like she made her own world in that sort of area that she's, in that sort of area in Westview.
So, I kind of spoke about it in like TikTok. Doesn't matter because I wanted to talk about it here. So I have three things. So we kind of see her not accepting the loss of vision and creating this utopian world where she's basically having kids with him, and I don't know if he's alive because I don't think so because um Vision has a soul stone and the soul stone's been destroyed. But I think maybe Vision is the subconscious part of her where it's like this is not real, let's get serious, but there's some times and moments where she kind of stops and says, let's not um let's not actually take in reality, let's still live in this world. Two, I also, so I don't know if you've seen Doom Patrol, but there's a Doom Patrol, sorry, but there's a couple episodes where they visit this town, but this town has an entity of its own and basically takes people's personas and the different personalities and different traits and different sexual orientation and so on and so forth, and it moves around because the government's basically knowing where they're at or trying to pick up where they're at, but the entity itself moves around. I think the whole globe, or is it just the United States? I'm not so sure. um so I think it's kind of like that in a sense where she's sort of going here and there and back and forth of different places because you're seeing the setting of each episode of her house like changing. So the first episode, the living room, is completely different than the second episode where we see the living room, and then the third episode, and it's also taking place every decade. So it's the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Next is the
Yeah,
80s.
yeah. And it's
And
also it's
what's up, Adam?
because I actually enjoyed. Sorry to cut you off. The
Okay.
reason I enjoy that is because I used to watch most of the shows that was sort of that looked like that. Like the first episode was I Love Lucy. The
Lucy,
second
yeah.
was Bewitched, and the third episode was the Brady Bunch. So it's like it kind of like flipped off different like TV series, family series. Who knows what comes up next? Probably close to the '90s, more in our era. that we might end up seeing the next episode going.
And yeah, it kind of reminded me of like I Love Lucy. I couldn't think of an episode, the second episode of what it reminded me of because I didn't really see that much in the 60s. I mean 70s, no 60s, yeah.
Yeah.
But 70s was that 70s show. I could only relate to that. I didn't really watch the Brady Bunch. I know about it. I've seen the intros, but I never really caught an episode of it. And the third point was in the end, we see that there's a force field around that town, West Village, whatever, Westview, and it reminded me of the Truman Show, and I pointed that out because in the Truman Show, he figures out that he's basically in a TV production, uh, uh, not fan based. What's it called? Like it's a TV production, and it's like the whole town is in on it, right? So this is kind of like everyone's in on it. Everyone knows what's going on, but they're not pointing it out.
Yeah.
And so when what's her face she's
Geraldine?
Geraldine, when she gets kicked out, it's kind of basically saying you got kicked out of the show, but we're seeing it in her end where it's like this was a thing where it's kind of like she created her own bubble, to say the least.
Yeah, and she's not mentioning her past. So when
But she mentioned Pitro, and also, oh
yeah,
wait, I just remembered. She's also her accent. It's American, not Slovakian.
yeah,
No,
it started changing after a while.
Slovakian.
No, it started changing, which is weird because also Paul Bettany's character doesn't change his voice either. He has his British accent. He doesn't even have an American accent throughout the entire thing. So it's yeah, but not we haven't even mentioned who Geraldine is. Uh, if everybody has seen Captain Marvel, you notice that she, Captain Marvel's character, Carol Danvers, had a close friend of hers who helped her go out of space, which was her name was Maria Rambeau, and her daughter is Monica Rambeau, who happens to be Geraldine's character in the show. So there is a connection here between Captain Marvel characters and WandaVision characters.
And doesn't she become like a superpowered Captain American?
I think she becomes another Captain Marvel. I mean, there was various Captain Marvels, but she becomes one of them.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I know in was it the Marvel what's the other one? It's M6 616, and there's Ultimate. In the Ultimates she travels in space with like Blue Marvel and others. I don't remember, but yeah, she has like these powers, and it's kind of similar to Captain Marvel's where it's like uh non-nuclear, what's it called? Atomic. She
Yeah.
could like blasters in her by her hands, like all that stuff. But yeah, she's part of the Captain Marvel's sorry, character.
Yeah, she's part of that series, which there's a lot of characters that are sort of hidden in there. But like for example, at the end of the first episode, when we see a character person's hand shut off the WandaVision station, and right away I knew who it was, and I'm pretty sure it was Kat Dennings' character in Thor, which is Darcy Lewis. Like I knew right away that had to be Darcy, which she's probably in connection with Sword. But it's like they're bringing some of the characters back from the previous films, and they're connected with Sword, which I think also in episode 2 when we hear Randall Park's voice in the radio playing, which is Jimmy Woo. He played the cop that had an Ant-Man in house arrest in part 2.
Oh, okay, okay.
So he's connected to. I'm pretty sure he's probably connected to Sword as well.
That's interesting, man. That's really interesting. Wow, I didn't know that. That I didn't know. See, yeah, I don't really do the research like other YouTubers do. I'm just like I give my own opinion. It is what it is. But yeah, I didn't know that. That's cool. That's actually interesting. I kind of like the little commercials that they have set up though, too,
Yeah.
and it kind of like plays into like what was the guy that was holding her and Quicksilver? Um,
Strucker.
Strucker, which was the watch, and also Hydra. It's already two Hydra things and the shield something.
Which is two. Those are pretty much. The other one was Stark
No,
Industries,
Stark Industry. Sorry.
and the other one was Strucker, and those were two major elements in the Age of Ultron because
Mm-hmm.
he blamed Iron Man for the death of many, and Strucker was the one that tortured her, that gave her abilities. It's like she's a bit damaged at the moment, and I think she's kind of showing it in this world we live in through the commercials that she's creating. So pretty much, we're viewing her, like her psyche, her mental state right now as each show progresses, as each episode progresses. It's like we're inside her brain and know what she's dealing with, and then we keep seeing Agnes in every single episode, so she has to play a big part, which everybody's saying that is a major character in the Marvel comic book history that everyone knows as Agatha Harkness, who, by the way, on doing my research, find that Agatha Harkness was she was a witch during the Salem witch trials. Also, she's also Franklin Richards' governess. So she's in connection with the Fantastic Four.
Hmm.
If we end up, it might connect to the future of the Fantastic Four, her appearance, coming back out maybe. If this might not, probably this season of WandaVision might not be her last. She might be in connection with the Fantastic Four.
That's interesting. I know.
Even the two children are a major plot because it's. I was reading up on most of the Scarlet Witch stories and noticed that Mephisto, who plays Satan in the Marvel universe, is a major player in like her stories in the Marvel universe, which take with the two kids, Agnes's character, and the and Visions. So it's like even in the comic book, she also created children out of her, you know, out of nowhere because how can she have children with Vision? Vision doesn't have any reproductive organs. She created them themselves. And then that's the thing. Like, if she's creating they in the comics, she was creating them specifically because Mephisto wanted her to create them. They were going to be used for a specific reason. And at some point in the comics, she forgets about them because her memory gets wiped, which is one of the things that she spends most of her she does
I
with
didn't
her
know.
abilities in Age of Ultron.
Damn, I did not know that. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
there was a lot of stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff because I was thinking like, yo, what if we do a mental illness episode of Wanda Maximoff? But it was like, how many episodes would that be? That's had her nervous breakdowns constantly, and it's like a series of nervous breakdowns, of mental breakdowns throughout the entire series. So it's like we dealt with the House of M, um, and what else during the X-Men and the Avengers. She's did the No More Mutants when she erased like half the mutant population. So it's like she's freaking powerful, and
Yeah.
and to be able to create a world like this is just imagine how she's she's practically all the stones roll into one.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think she was able to take Thanos at ease with nothing. She could have destroyed him if it wasn't for him cowering behind his the missiles on his ship because she would have killed him then and there, and there would have been we would have seen Robert Downey Jr. play his role as Iron Man in Iron Man 4 or 5 and 6 if they would have let her kill him. But sometimes you
Yeah, the
know,
writers gotta make gotta
yeah,
create
they got to make some like decisions, and
yeah.
so they could end the character's saga in some way.
Can't have it too OP because you know what? Let's not make her too OP, bro. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I like where the story is going. It has its weird moments. Like the laughing track. I get it though cuz it's trying to implement the TV shows back then in different decades.
Yeah,
Um but there is also the serious moments which I like because they're when she turns her head, everyone's noticed. When she turns her head, she's going to do something.
yo, no, yeah, she's been scaring the crap out of me, especially this third episode. I was like, when she came out and she said, "What did you say?" And then he was like, "I don't know." It's what is that necklace? When she was pointing at Aunt Geraldine's necklace, and you see the sword.
Mm.
It's like, oh no, this was given by my, such and such. And then all of a sudden, it's like her face expression changes, and I was like, this is Academy Award winning acting right here. I was like scared out of my mind. I didn't even like. I felt very uncomfortable when she like slightly she had like slightly turned her head and she was looking at her with this serious look, and that was like very scary. Even the scene when Vision comes in and says everything all right. Where's Geraldine? I said, oh, she had to go, and then she's just staring at her children, and it was like downright almost like it was just like horror movie status, and it was very good. Even then, Kevin Smith ended up speaking about it. It was like she should win an Academy Award for this particular episode. Like for like she was great at it, and I was like, I was yeah scared out of my mind in that scene.
Yeah, that scene was pretty good.
Yeah,
She so with the kids we know that they become future Avengers. I don't know if they're actually going to be real in a sense because she's created this insane utopian little town where she's I don't know what is real and what is not, right? So
yeah.
they become future Avengers. One of them has sorcery just like her, and the other one, I don't know. I don't know what the other one does. Oh no no no! Yeah, one is sorcery, the other one runs fast, so it's like Quicksilver too. That's what I remember. Sorry, and she I don't know how they're going to intertwine because we do know already with rumors months before that Quicksilver was going to be part of it, which is Chris Evans is his name that did Quicksilver in X Men in the X Men movies, second X Men series movies.
Evan Peters.
Evan Peters, I'm sorry, Evan Peters, and I was close, and so maybe I don't know how it's going to play out. Maybe he doesn't, and he gets involved with the House of Madness when he or when Doctor Strange and her go into how she manipulated other worlds, because there's a guy and he mentioned that he went in depth and said that they keep showing the address in front of the house on this one, and he basically said that he was looking at all the universes, and in this Marvel universe, the Earth is 19999 something,
Yeah,
and that she is drawing from the address number from that Earth to that town. But the thing
Mm.
is, I don't know what that Earth is. It's could probably be a random ass Earth. I don't really know. Um, but maybe that's. I don't know if that's the same Earth that the X-Men are involved in then. Because that'd be a good
See,
idea.
I mean, they're still throwing theories. They're still saying they were saying like I was watching this entire video on the assumption that Mephisto is doing all of this right now. That he,
Oh,
which I wouldn't be surprised because at some point he has to wear his ugly head and come out because being part of this universe and Blade soon coming into the series. And if Blade comes into the series, we might just expect Ghost Rider. If we expect Ghost Rider, we probably expect all these characters that are part of that, Marvel hell that exists in the Marvel universe. So
right.
at some point, and if this is his introduction, this is a hell. They're really doing a really good job, sort of like kind of like throwing him in there in the mix, and everybody's just trying to speculate right now. While most fans are probably speculating that it may be Mephisto, they're also saying that it may be AIM that has that's connected to it because of the supposed beekeeper that came out of the sewers. Um, I don't know, but to be honest, I would actually enjoy it if I find out at the end that it's actually Mephisto pulling all the strings, because that would definitely, if he appears here and he's doing all this, then we might see him in the future of the next series, and then that will be Kevin Feige coming on and saying, "Yes, we already got plans for Ghost Rider and what they're going to do there." Because that's one universe they still haven't touched yet. We got to see the superheroes, right? We got to see mythology where Thor lives. We got to see out of space, out of the universe, which was we're going to see the Eternals. We already got Guardians of the Galaxy. Now we have to see the underworld, the supernatural version. The world, pretty much the supernatural in the Marvel, which we'll be getting Blade soon, which will be vampires, should be we should be getting Ghost Rider, and with Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, who knows? We might end up getting some other supernatural beings coming out of nowhere out of that series.
I actually do like that idea that Mephisto's actually playing around with everything and manipulating everything that we're seeing. There's a good idea that I mean, there's a good idea. There's a good sense that maybe they introduce not just a villain but another hero.
Hmm.
And maybe because of Wanda's ties with the X-Men, I think we might see the X-Men kind of involved in or mentioned, or the word mutant mentioned. Because I don't think it was it mentioned in Ultron that they were kind of mutants, or no?
Oh,
They were
that
just like
word never
special,
came
right?
out. It couldn't. That word couldn't even be mentioned at all due to the
Oh
Fox
yeah, that's right.
and
So
Marvel
yeah,
relationship.
if that word gets mentioned, woo, that
I mean,
everyone will be
there's
crazy.
there's there's theories that in Falcon and Winter Soldier they're gonna go to Madripoor, which is an area where Omega Red was from, Sabretooth, Wolverine, all of these characters. They're gonna, so it's like little by little, I think they're gonna start sort of throwing these characters in, because even Kevin Feige said you have to see the shows in order to understand the movies that are going to be in, to understand the movies. So it's like
Yeah.
you might get hints. They're talking about Rogue being a major character in Captain Marvel 2. There's also talk about Storm possibly appearing in Thor Love and Thunder. So it's like they might just end up starting little by little bringing in characters.
You know what I would like to see is a storm in in the Black Panther movie.
It's kind of heartbreaking. We will not see
I
that.
know. That would
Then again,
I think would be like a kind of homage to the comics.
here's the thing though. Remember, you know, Chadwick Boseman, may he rest in peace, when he died. But they said that we're not going to cast anybody else,
Right.
but they're bringing Michael B. Jordan back. He said they're gonna cast him in Black Panther 2. Be surprised if he becomes the next Black Panther, or his sister Shuri, which is possible because she was also a Black Panther at some point in the comics.
Yeah, that'll be insane.
Because I think he's, I don't think he'll be Michael B. Jordan's character wouldn't come out as a villain. I think he will probably come back as a hero at some point, because I mean, it's like we don't need this character to become a villain again. It's like we can't have him like getting stopped. At least they knew how to maneuver around Loki's character, but for him to come back as a villain,
I think maybe that's where they're gonna start. Kind of like in comics, in some comics they go to hell, and
yeah,
pick and bring their souls back, and then bring their body back, and then they come back into like the comic world. So maybe that's what they'll do with Killmonger. I don't know if they want to touch on the
I don't know.
aspects
I
of
think
hell.
because remember at the end he said we could have brought you back to life, but he said no. Imagine if he's like in stasis, like Winter Soldier.
Oh, oh, yo, dude. Yeah, they never really killed him. They put him in
Yeah,
stasis.
they
That's a
just
good
kept him in
idea.
stasis for a bit, and he came back out for to fight back Infinity War. So I wouldn't be
He's
surprised
not a
if he was
leader,
in
but he's like
stasis.
the second right hand man of Shuri because he probably changed, and he was probably in the I don't know what they called it when he drinks a purple thing, and then he's in the stasis between, he's in limbo, and he sees like those panthers and everything.
Yeah,
But yeah, what if he's there too, not just in stasis mode?
yeah.
That'll be interesting.
I mean,
That's a
so
good
so far,
idea.
there's a lot of stuff that's being thrown around there with B. Jordan coming back for Black Panther 2. Um, they brought Kat Dennings back and Randall Parks back for WandaVision. Now they play intricate roles in WandaVision. So, and what else? What else was mentioned? Well, a possibility that maybe Chris Evans is coming back as Captain America, but we don't know yet. That's just thrown around there. But then again, we've seen a lot of actors always deny the characters that were given when they had to portray either a DC character or a Marvel character, specifically like Marvel characters. They would say, "Well, we don't know anything about this." So who knows?
I
And then
like.
I was also thinking when we were talking about the two kids, because at some point they become Avengers. And I was like, they're already setting things off for the kid Avengers. We already got Miss Marvel coming out with her own TV show. We got uh America Chavez coming out in Doctor Strange. We have
Oh, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, I'm wrong. Never mind.
yeah, so it's little by little everything is getting placed into they're creating the kid Avengers. Who knows?
Yeah, it's interesting on what they're gonna do, and I like it. I want to be part of it. Everyone wants to be
Yeah.
part of it, and everyone wants to know the answers already.
And the
Um,
thing is, in the universe that Wanda created for those children, who knows? They could grow faster, grow much faster. Look, she went through 9 months in like what, a couple of hours,
mm-hmm.
and gave birth to twins. And then so who knows? Those kids might be like teenagers by the end of the freaking their last episode, and then they disappear, and maybe at some point they come back as Avengers.
It'd be creepy. Because I just thought of this. What if that kid that has the speed powers, just like his uncle? What
Yeah.
if that's Evan Peters that grows up into?
Hmm. You know what? Also, Paul Bethany said, who plays Vision, he said there's a secret actor in the show that's during in one of the episodes. A secret actor. It can't be Evan Peters because they already said Evan Peters is in it. They said a secret actor. That means somebody from the Marvel series is coming. Is going to be in there. I don't know. Possibly everybody's going to assume it's Doctor Strange, but when Kevin Feige throws in characters, it's like I didn't see this coming. So it's like I don't know if it's Doctor Strange, I probably would have saw it coming. But for Paul Bethany said there's a secret actor that's in this that's going to be in the WandaVision series. That's going to be honestly, I'm like speculating who could it be.
I'm speculating if it's fucking Magneto.
They're still trying to cast that. They're talking about Michael Fassbender coming as Doctor Doom. So
Nah, I like him. I honestly do like him as Magneto.
no, yeah,
And
he's
for him
great.
to come there, it'd be perfect. Um, and the talks with Marvel, changing up the kind of like the race of the character and having Denzel as Magneto, it kind of does fit, but it doesn't. Um, if they were to bring Denzel, I would say they can bring him as Charles Xavier. But oh, wait, who was in the Holocaust? It was
It was Magneto.
Magneto. Yeah. So I mean, because of story wise, why not, right? So Charles Xavier.
I
Kind of
mean,
weird to see him bald.
As Charles Xavier, it would make sense because we need. I guess they could add that situation of like racism and alienation and
That's what the X-Men are for.
yeah. So
Or were
it's like
written like.
to add an African American Professor X and a Jewish Jewish Magneto could make that dynamic grow. But then also they don't have to because a lot of the characters in the Marvel universe are sort of from somewhere else or they're from a different religion. Like Nightcrawler is a Roman Catholic, and you know Iceman is Jewish, and so and then also Magneto's Jewish. So it's like all these characters have like these. There's there's still an animosity within these races and these or in their religion or whatever. So it's like it's easy to manipulate all that and put it into the story.
Yeah, I'm not saying that there's a person that's black and can't be Jewish. I'm not saying that.
No, because they were talking
Yeah.
about this guy coming in as to play Professor X. And now, since you never seen Breaking Bad, but you've seen Mandalorian, is this guy who had the black saber.
Oh.
They were talking about him being Professor X, which he has that, and I think
Yo,
he could pull it off.
he's such a good fucking actor, man. Like it blew my mind when I found out that he was the same guy in Do the Right Thing, where he tattletales and at the end, but he's trying to sell something to Moogie. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but he's such a good fucking actor. I give him so much props. Like if I see him, I'd bow down. I'll bow down because that dude, his acting is impeccable. If you've seen The Get Down, which I don't know if you have, you gotta watch that fucking show. Have you seen The Get Down on Netflix?
I've never
Oh
seen it.
my god, you gotta see it. It's all about the '80s, late '80s hip hop and the start of and Grandmaster Flash, Shaolin, and just all about like music and the inspiration of hip hop and the inspiration of rap and the introduction of everything. And you see the poverty and you see like these kids trying to embrace rap and trying to use that as their tool for the community. But he plays a character which I can't fathom of like liking. I cannot like this character, but this actor can make you believe that you can hate him because of what he does, and it's so good. But I hated his character, but I was like, I gotta give props to the guy because he made me believe that I can hate him. If you watch that show, or you know what I'm talking about, it's
No,
so,
the thing is when he plays the villain, because he was also a
and
villain.
he can articulate and immaculate like his villainous,
Yeah.
his
No, I get what
evilness.
you mean because I've seen a lot of films where you're like when good actors play a certain villain, and then when you see them, they're like, oh my god, I hate him. I can't stand this guy. It's such a good actor. You know, you can't help but love the way he acts and portrays these characters, and and he's good. It was like
Michael, oh,
watching Edward Norton. I've seen Edward Norton in The Italian Job, and I was throughout that entire movie, I wanted to shut the whole thing off. I was like, I love Norton. I've seen him in so many films. I enjoyed him in Fight Club and a whole bunch of other films. But in Italian Job, he played a villain, and I couldn't stand him at all. Like I couldn't stand his character. But it's like it's you know they're portraying characters that I guess they want to be hated. They want people to hate them. You
yeah.
know, which is a good thing.
And you know what's funny is that Michael, I was listening to Rosenbaum's podcast, inside of you, and I forgot who he was talking to. Oh, it was Clancy Brown. Was he Clancy
Yeah,
Brown? And he was basically saying
most
like
Lex.
they write villains so much better than the heroes.
Yeah,
Like his like when he was talking about with Smallville, like he had paragraphs of lines and this whole metaphor and going back in history and talking about Alexander the Great, Caesar, and all these historical figures that we know and used in the story in the plot line of like him and his father and him and Clark, and two worlds colliding, and he had just paragraphs and paragraphs, and and Tom Welling just said, "Okay, and." And it's just like how do you write a character that you kind of fall for because of their how they're
yeah, honestly,
written and how they portray them.
yeah, and I have to say, like,
That's why
even,
people love Michael Rosenbaum, because he does a really good Lex.
yeah, he did a very good Lex. Clancy Brown did a good Lex, and even though it was a bit silly, but Gene Hackman had his moments
Yeah.
that were like, oh, especially that line that was mentioned in Ready Player One when he says a person could I forgot what it was.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. I just forgot the line.
A person could open a stick of bubblegum and find a
Secrets to the world or universe.
yeah.
Yeah. It's such a good show. It like they write villains better than they write heroes, and it's kind of weird, but the heroes always win.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's just that I felt like I enjoyed seeing the villains in the DC universe more than the villains in the Marvel universe. You know, the only two villains that had more like a lot of interest that I enjoyed the dialogue was Ultron's dialogue and all of Thanos' dialogue.
Yeah, and Killmonger's too.
It's just the conversations and what he wanted to do because you know every villain thinks they're the hero of their own story. So Thanos thought that he was doing something magnificent to just bring peace and prosperity to everyone, and by eliminating half the universe. So it's like and just hearing him talk and his own philosophy and understanding his psychology was almost like it's very poetic for some strange reason. I could sit down. I think I could have seen a whole entire movie of just him having conversations about what he's planning to do and why he's doing it. You know, and I'm hoping that if they decide to bring his character up, like seeing him probably appear in the Eternals, like flashbacks of seeing how he was growing up and maybe understanding his philosophy and why everything was happening the way it was, I would love to actually see that. I would enjoy just listening to him talk about how he was brought up and you know into this world and why he did what he did.
They just know how to write them, man, and and I don't know. I just can't wait to see what kind of either hero villain that they choose. But I know that the guy that's in that we're talking about in the beginning is such a good actor. And if they don't get him in the Marvel universe, they missed out. Cuz I mean Amazon Prime has him in The Boys, but and I was super excited when I saw him in season 2. I was like, "Woo, you had no idea." My girl was like, "What the hell's wrong with you?" I'm like, "It's him." Like you don't know, but it's him.
No, yeah, he like every time um um Homelander appears to everybody, everyone's scared as
Oh,
hell.
he didn't take shit from him.
All he did was say a couple of lines, and all of a sudden Homelander was shaking in his boots, like, "Oh my god, I can't." It was like
Can't scare this guy.
most powerful. You're Superman, and right now, this guy next to you right there, like he just this like just a couple of words, and you're already shaking in your boots. Like, don't touch this man.
Mhm.
Then you won't have anything.
Mhm. Yeah, I liked it, man. I can't wait to see him in much more stuff. I hate that actors get old, but um he's like he's there, man. He's top there. He knows what he's doing. And
And it would
and
be
he knows how
cool
to
to
pick the
see.
roles.
Yeah, and it would be cool to see him as Professor X. I would enjoy it if he's Professor X.
Mhm.
Much older, so it's like they might just make the X Men like adults during this time, and then it'll be easy for him to just I think he could play the role definitely. I mean, everybody's gonna. It's like if anybody's gonna have a if Patrick Stewart's gonna have a predecessor, I think he will be
Oh,
fantastic.
yeah, most definite.
Yeah.
Um agreed to that. Um Yeah, that's what we got for WandaVision for us. So I can't think of any more theories right now. I used to say that it was a dream sequence, but now we're realizing that it's basically not. Because I thought that they were observing her, but they are in a way not in a confined room, basically a confined room, but basically in a town. So it's more of a and it had so many moments where I was like, the what's it called? Oh my god, I just the simulation's going wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. It's really crazy. But they also said that at the end of Avengers Endgame, they were going to include a the start of WandaVision was going to be the end credits, but they didn't do it. They said that at some point at the end of the movie, Vision was going to pop up and alive and you know and be with her. But I would understand after you know her disappearing, her losing Vision, you know, and being having probably this nervous breakdown, and she created this world so she could live happy.
Right.
So as if and it's honestly that's just I want to know if Evan Peters is going to pop up because the idea that Evan Peters is popping up and no one's talking about this guy's character. I mean, oh, the guy played Quicksilver and
Oh, again, I suck
he
with
was also
names,
he
but I
was
know what you're
also in
talking about.
Kick Ass. This is what happens when we try to do these things late at night and we're supposed to be like taking naps and sleeping. we can't figure out names.
Hold up, I got you.
This is why sometimes I write things down, and I realize it's
Aaron
like,
Taylor.
yeah, there you go. This is why I write things down. But then again, I was like, damn, I don't think I should have wrote that guy's name down, but I didn't realize it's like maybe I'll bring him up, maybe he pops up, who knows? Yeah, I even had this. What does SWORD stand for? Sentient World Observation and Response Department. Her purpose is to deal with extraterrestrial threats, which is kind of weird because she's not extraterrestrial. So what is SWORD doing there?
Maybe they're.
Because the point of
Wait. In the comics, I forgot what event it was when they saw that the worlds in the universe were colliding and destroying each other's Earths.
yeah.
Maybe they're seeing some weird, extraordinary thing in their universe where something's happening, where there could be a black hole. Maybe there's something that's like paranormal, or not paranormal, but I don't know, like a like some weird wave is coming towards them. Not Galactus, but yeah, something in that sense. Maybe. I don't know. And it's due to her because there's so much like not heat signature but wavelengths, like some, I don't know, maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
It's funny, in two different interviews when they were asking Elizabeth Olsen about, you know, her relationship with Vision. She said it twice in the interview. They're saying, you know, they're they be like, she was like saying they kind of belong together. They're like one person, and you know there's similarity between them, and then they're perfect together. Like it's like they're both like one being, and she, that was the gist of it. What I got out of it, which I started thinking, what if her destroying that gem somehow she absorbs something out of that? That's a theory I'm just throwing out there, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't mean you need to start making threads out of it, but maybe you might make some threads out of it. But she destroyed it. The whole thing caused a massive explosion, which she was in the middle of.
Right.
Imagine that it affected her. But that was pretty much the connection to Vision.
Okay.
Even when he died, he was like, it was like, I don't want to hurt you. So no, I would just feel you.
Yeah.
If that connection and that whole brought them like closer together after that explosion. See what happens.
Yeah.
But bring Vision. But the thing is this: the people that are in there know that there's something going on. From SWORD. I think Agnes is something else. She's not part of SWORD. She wanted to tell Vision about her. They wanted to keep their mouth shut. And I guess they don't want Vision to know more than he needs to. Vision is the only one that's sort of like hearing people talk and like saying things. Everybody that's there must be stuck in some type of loophole or in some, they're trying to figure themselves out, or they went into that dimension and somehow they became part of that universe that she created. And occasionally, I guess some of them actually break out of it. Even when they came out and they said, the guy was saying, the doctor said, I'm going to Bermuda. There was a theory that said that, meaning like the Bermuda Triangle, like being stuck somewhere and sort of getting lost. So I was like, that was pretty interesting. They're sort of like throwing little hints around and things like that. So so the idea that Geraldine's character was the only one that sort of threw something out of her past, and then I think she didn't want to say anymore because it was like she saw the change in and I think she made a mistake by mentioning something from her past, which
it's a good idea. It's a good theory. I like that one. Bermuda Triangle stuck in time, stuck in a weird place.
Even the guy, he said it. He said, "Yeah, I'm gonna go." He said, "He's ready to go on your vacation." It says, I'll probably just stay. It's like even if you stay, you really never go. Like it's like they get stuck. It's like what was it? Even if you go, you really never leave. I think that's what he meant.
Mm-hmm.
It's they're stuck, and I think they all know about it. It's that movie Pleasantville, where it's like they go down the block and they keep coming back to the same block over and over because it's only that world they're living in, and they're stuck, and only a few people know. And I think Agnes is the only one that knows what's going on, because even in the third episode, she sort of started talking to Vision, not to say anything, don't say a word, and who is this person that's in the house? Should we trust her? She's someone, you know. And Vision is also trying to figure things out. So I think he's the one that's gonna break that glamour.
And I realized that okay, so the editing in the second or first episode of when he's trying to figure things out and questioning and it gets too serious, it kind of goes back and rewinds and then it does it again, right? So
Yeah,
different events happen. I've realized that her powers are getting much stronger and also unstable. Now,
yeah,
in this third episode, when he starts realizing it, it literally just cuts back to him talking right before it gets serious and starts trying to figure things out.
yeah,
She gets pregnant, her powers are unstable. Uh, and also when Geraldine's in the living room, what the pelican is around and walking, and it's real. It's not like art imitates life, right? In
yeah,
a sense, but it actually becomes real. But she's not in control of her powers when she's trying to get rid of it and stuff like that. So I don't know. I don't know. It's like she's becoming more powerful little by little, and we're starting to see that more. So
yeah.
I don't know. Like
Okay, yeah,
again, the
yeah.
comic has been said or has not stated but shown us that she's become a way more powerful than we could think of as a sorcerer. Or
Yeah. Which there was another theory that they said that it was Mephisto is pulling the strings. It was saying that you know Wanda's able to control everything in that place. She's able to rewind time. She's able to control like movements and do everything from her mind. And but the Pelican was the only thing she was unable to control. So they were saying that Mephisto became one, it shapeshifted into the Pelican. That he had a hand in he was able to shapeshift to that, which was it felt it was kind of weird. And it's like out of all things, Satan wants to transform into a pelican. I think it was just
I don't know. It's a long shot, but
it is a long shot, but I was also thinking just popped up just now the idea that maybe the reason that she couldn't make it disappear is because I guess it was a warning, I guess, from the sword that was trying to warn Geraldine's character.
mm,
And I guess like she kept like pulling it away, not knowing what she was actually doing. And she probably thought that was her own magic that it appeared. But I
right.
feel like must have been trying to uh, like get her out of the way or something. Like that pelican had something to do. But then again, the pelican ended up disappearing on the wall when they went to the baby room. So it's hard to say. Because honestly, Wanda's power, she created a whole entire sort of universe. And she's able to do so many things, but she didn't make that pelican disappear. So it's something had to give at that point.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
like the show. It's different and and it's making you think of so many things and so many theories. So I'm enjoying what I'm watching, and I'm enjoying the story unfold.
It's a lot, yeah, it's a lot easier than seeing the Marvel films because then we see a trailer, it was like so many theories. But when you get to see each episode, you already got theories after theories, and so where are they going with this?
Yeah.
It's always fun. In every single show you kind of you watch, there's always theories. Like at the end of it, you're left wondering what the hell just happened. Who is this person? Why are they popping up? And then you try to do your own research and wondering who are these people, So it's better. Shows are much better than movies. So I'm glad that they did a show with this. It would have been difficult to see this as a film. It would have been really difficult to see this as a film.
Yeah, I agree to
So
that.
seeing it as a show, it's very fun to watch.
Hmm. Did you see that trailer that came out for Superman and Lois?
I did see it. I saw the first one, which was just him flying and trying to put everything together.
No, no. There's another one that came out. I think
No,
today.
I saw that one too. They were showing like him picking up the truck, and he was showing his children.
Did it not feel like you were watching a movie trailer?
Yeah, it
The
did feel like that.
cinematography reminded me of Man of Steel, Zack Snyder's. Like it's not a show, and it's the creators of the Flash, but they're using the color tone very differently, and it feels like a movie. It feels they're trying to capture that, you know, uh,
Small,
like it's trying to be real.
yeah, Smallville had that color tone, that brightness. You've noticed that if you watch Smallville and you see episodes where when he's in Smallville, you see the brightness, the sun, everything has these colors. The colors are very vibrant, you know. But when there's episodes where it appears in Metropolis, it's very blue, very kind of dark. And then I was like, I don't understand. It's not Gotham, but it's
Yeah,
that's how it was had that dark bluish color.
in the comics, it's not supposed to be like that. Like Metropolis is supposed to be this fun, kind
Yeah,
of
it's
like a
it's
New York vibrant type
yeah,
of
it's like
city
downtown. It's like downtown Manhattan.
or
It's like
Midtown.
like that city that happy, and it's everyone's walking around, everybody's like getting to plays, and then Gotham is mostly like the Bronx and parts of Brooklyn.
That's hilarious. That's so true.
Yeah,
And it's
that's what they
always
were. I
raining.
remember. I forgot where I was reading that at. They said that Metropolis was supposed to. It was portraying the way downtown Manhattan looks. Like Times Square and all these little parts. And Gotham was supposed to be the South Bronx.
I like
You know,
that.
which makes sense.
It's funny. It's a funny. But yeah, I'm kind of it kind of made me be like, whoa, this trailer looks good. Maybe this show has m- is different than Smallville, is different than Lois and Clark, and it's different than and it's more similar or more real. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
And it looks like the acting has improved,
yeah.
or maybe it was there, but we haven't really seen it too much.
I want to give it. I'm gonna give it a chance, and
Facts, me too.
you know,
Like it looks promising.
that most of the where is it gonna go now since most of the shows are canceled and Supergirl was canceled and Arrow is done, and they definitely canceled the Green Arrow and the Canaries. That's done. Uh,
Yeah, it sucks. Why?
yeah, so it's like after that, Infinite Crisis. What is it? Crisis of Infinite Earths episode. It's like, what's gonna happen next? These heroes that are not gonna be. It's just they lined up, they sat at their table, and it's like most of them are missing. Like, what are you planning to do? Where is the story going? But then again, this guy Stephen Amell said, never say never. to
True.
up again. And maybe Melissa Benoist might end up coming back.
He may be just doing like those crossovers once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, it'll make sense.
It's a universe, you know. It could be a different
Yeah.
Green Arrow. It could be a different, be a different Oliver Queen where he's actually the Batman. I mean, they played on that before, so why not see that happening? He puts on
Yeah.
the mantle. That'd be cool as fuck.
Yeah.
That'll be insane.
It's
Oh, like Bruce Wayne in that universe gave him the okay to be Batman because you know what? Fuck it. And they done that in like the show, The Brave and the Bold, when like Bruce was like injured or Batman was injured, and these different heroes became Batman in their own persona, but nobody could really match up to uh Bruce Wayne. Like Plastic Man, that one was funny. I think Booster Gold. I don't remember the other ones, but yeah. But yeah, this show looks promising. These two shows look promising, and I don't know what kind of I don't know. I don't know what happens. I like where it's going. I'm enjoying WandaVision in a weird, different way. I'm having theories of my own. So if I'm having theories of a show, then I'm enjoying it. That's what I.
of
That,
course if they threw things at you that was like straightforward, you were like, oh yeah, okay, that's cool. But it's like with all these theories, you're like, oh, where is it going? What's happening? Because the Marvel universe is so vast, and now that they got the Fox rights, they could do whatever they want with any character could pop up out of the blue. So it's like, who knows? Whatever it is that's doing this, or who's behind the scenes and who's pulling the strings, and you know is Quicksilver around? Because that's one crazy thing. She brought Vision back, but I don't understand why she didn't think about bringing. It's got to be something that happened that was that he's there, and why him? Because hey, she could have brought Pedro back.
in the Days of Future Past, no, not Days of Future Past. In the movie where we first see Quicksilver, what year was that?
Age of Ultron.
No, 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 no. I'm talking about the X-Men movies.
He popped up in he popped up in the Days of Future Past. That took place like what, around the 70s? What, Nixon was president?
Hmm. Okay. Because I was thinking if they bring him in the 80s, that would kind of make sense. Because he was in the 80s and that's where we saw him. But he was also in the 90s because of the third movie, The Apocalypse. So,
Yeah.
which
But I don't.
that
But
movie.
then the idea that they might end up connecting that Fox universe with the Marvel universe.
Right.
So it's like, would would they do it? Are they capable? Can they do it? That's the thing. Are they able to take? I mean, they took Deadpool, but Deadpool makes sense because he breaks the fourth wall, and you can guarantee it's like, what the hell am I doing in this universe? You know? Yeah, right. When they said that, oh yes, he is part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and then that Ryan Reynolds put Deadpool on his Instagram, and he said, first things first, I'm gonna find Bambi Mother's killer.
That's funny. I kind of see him, and he's gonna have his movie rated R, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, I'm happy about that too. Which is kind of crazy. What's going on with Black Widow?
So it's getting pushed back again, bro.
Yeah, I noticed that they're pushing back,
So stupid.
and then
Like it's so
right now
stupid.
people are getting pissed off at HBO Max because they want to put the films that these huge directors wanted to put in theaters. You know, they said Christopher Nolan might get out of doing WB films because of it going straight to HBO Max. and not really going into theaters. But with
Like, listen.
you know, but
And I heard Tenant wasn't even that good.
yeah, I don't know. I want to see it though. I like Christopher Nolan as a director.
Apparently, that was his second to not great of movies. Second to worst films, is what I heard. So, like, it's not on par with like The Dark Knight. It's not on par with like Inception. So, I don't know. I haven't seen it, but that's the word on the street. It's the word on reviews. So, take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, I think this concludes this episode. Joey, do you wanna take it away?
I got nothing. But I'm glad that we keep doing this because I'll see you guys. We speak to you guys next week. Probably for the fourth episode of WandaVision and maybe some other stuff we might mention. A lot of speculate and talk about all these theories, and let's see any more news because right now with 2021, more news is going to pop up. Kevin Feige has been talking about what he's planning to do in the future of the Marvel films and see where DC's going. Because soon will be, I believe March will be Justice League, which will be 4 hours long on HBO Max.
All right. If you like, comment and subscribe and tell your friends about us. You know, we're nice. We're friendly people. We're not evil. And I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and I will catch you guys next week. Also, our links, if you ever want to write us, or just want to catch up on us, or just want to watch our videos, links will be at the bottom of the description. That will be included on the YouTube. That would also be included on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and I don't know where else we're at. Oh, Amazon Music. Amazon Music, yeah, Amazon Music podcast. So, catch you guys later. Peace.
Ah.
Trying to get this.